What's up, everybody? Spare with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. We are back again working on our bigger... oh, I don't know what this is anymore. Cruiser, I guess? Sure, maybe. Alright, making sure all this holds up. In the last episode, we re-stabilized, is probably a good term, the, reactor room and kind of sealed all this off. Now, good news is it looks really cool. I'm very happy with this part. The bottom part we're still working on. I just kind of closed it so that we could work with it, but I'm not sold on this yet. We'll have to play around with it a little bit. But the bad part is it's not sealed. Oh, and I switched these doors, by the way, to the inverted glass door, so it matched the actual glass on the outside, so it wasn't quite as jarring. But then on the inside, you know, it looks all cool and everything. One thing, we're going to do some myth busting real quick. I received quite a bit of feedback in the last episode as far as things that could be wrong and stuff like that. Tested the doors, that's why they're new. I replaced them with just the regular glass panels. Did not help, so that was not the problem. One of the things that I realized too... okay, I'm still getting used to the new walking system. One of the things I realized too was these vents weren't like this, they were red. Red is, I don't know why I didn't think of it before, red is, it's not getting power. Like, it's wrong. I don't know what happened, but something happened to where it just got confused, because all I did was break it and put it back, and then all of them lit up yellow again. So it was actually a power problem, not an air problem. Now, having said that, there's a couple of things that could be going on. One thing that I think is funny is now that this system is set up the way it is, these vents kind of look a little strange, but whatever, because they're flipped to the floor. What I personally think is happening is this. I think that because this glass is actually a layer lower than the slopes, technically the game can't see it as sealed. Either that, or it has to do with these walls. So we're going to test it a couple different ways. Some other myth busting. Let me see if I can get out of here. Some other myth busting we've got going on is the grav walks. It was suggested to remove the railing versions and do just the no railings, because then it might be possible to attach them. That is not actually the case. You can connect them like this on any of them, but if you flip the glass... oh, it's connecting to this. I was like, hold on. So if you like this, it won't connect to it. And much the same as this one. Now, there is a, I guess you could call it a semi-loophole, and that is that it can connect here to an object next to it, and then you could go and continue. I don't know how that will affect pressurization, though. So... the other thing I've been playing around with is the pipes. The pipes do actually act as conveyors. We can see this here. That, let's see, which one is it, 2? If we remove this, this block goes red. It's no longer connected to a valid point. When you put this down, then it connects. So the piping system is actually container specific. Now, the problem with this is junctions. The piping system does not have T-junctions or anything like that. It has stock vanilla conveyor blocks. So any of these modded T-branches or three-way branches, things like that, those will not work with as a pipe. You would have to put them in as a connector. That's why this is unfinished, because I was playing around with it and came to the realization that if I wanted junctions, I was going to have to use conveyor tubes. So that's... We could probably rework this whole system here and like reconnect it. It's just a matter of do we want to and all that kind of stuff. So as for the air pressure, I don't really know exactly what to do with it or what the easiest way to do it is. Mostly because I have a very hard problem getting into this spot and having the ability to actually delete or select anything because of the way this is set up. Why are we drifting? I feel like the ship's moving. It is moving. Why is it moving? Okay, either I'm moving or it's moving. One of the two. I have gyroscopes on here. Alright. Nothing going on. That's weird. What is going on right now? Something's like... No, the ship's flying up. I'm thinking I'm getting pushed down, but the ship's flying up. Why is this? Alright, so let's just float here for a second. It doesn't look like it's moving. I don't know. Something weird's going on. It has gyroscopes and thrusters for all the directions, so I'm not really worried about it. If it does decide to move, I can just, you know, do something with it. Now, one other thing is, speaking of the junction system, you could feed pipes into these, I believe, and still have them function correctly, or you could just replace these junctions with a conveyor block and be done with it. That would totally be a user preference call thing, not like something that you would have to do. So I'm going to get rid of this so we can get into the inner workings here. Now, the only part that confuses me is it's got to be on the glass side of this instead of the upper part here, because we've already got the blocks sealing that off. So that can't be it. Let me grab... I don't really need these. Conveyor, we'll get the airtight conveyor. And a tube. A tube. Alright, so we're gonna have to go in from the other direction. Now for this we could actually do... we'll actually use the door here. Alright, so it's time we reevaluate this here. Alright. So, these need to go away. It is possible, I suppose, that these blocks are not considered airtight, but see, this is what I mean. I really think that because these slopes are flush with this wall, that then when these are bumped up a hair, I think it's seeing it as a separate plane, and so it's not actually sealing anything, is I think what the problem is. Unfortunately, I don't know of a solution around this, because of where the grav walks are located. There's no good way for me to place any kind of block, really, inside that set. So the only thing I can think of is to raise this up, or rather down, by one, and then connect it, but then we don't get the slope angle. So that's kind of the problem that I'm having right now, and it's really one that I don't see a solution for, because if I change one of these, it's going to change the whole design, really. I may not be able to have this angle set up. I might have to go with a straight window or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to cause a design problem of getting this to work, because now we can't have it set up this way, which is unfortunate. The only other solution would be if there's just some hole that I'm not seeing somewhere that's keeping it from pressurizing, which is not unlikely. I mean, like, it could very well be somewhere that I'm just not thinking of, but I'm really not seeing. It could be the bottom too, but I don't think it is. Tell you what, let's check out the bottom first before we go through and overhaul all of this. If I can get down. Alright, so what plane did I build? Yeah, there's no way this isn't sealed. So this is not the culprit. So like I said, I mean, I've done some testing things here and there, and pretty much the only answer I can come up with is this upper part is not sealing because it's down a layer. Which, I mean, originally it was supposed to just be a catwalk system where you could look at the batteries and stuff, and it kind of changed, I guess. What we could do, alright, let's try this on one side. How's this? We'll do it on one side and see how this works. No, that won't work. I already see it. I already see it. What I was gonna do was basically replace this, but I was gonna get rid of this one and just carry it over and continue, but then again it throws off the angle. So tell you what, we're just gonna try this on one and just see how it ends up looking and if it just looks horrible or not. The corners might be an issue. I really liked this design, but unfortunately something's got to change for this to work. So let's try just the like straight form and see how that ends up looking. Can I actually fit through here? Oh, I could, you know, be a normal individual and just use the door, huh? I mean, that doesn't look bad, it's just not what I wanted it to look like, is all. I wanted it to be more like this, but, you know, you win some, you lose some. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through... I can't actually fit through there. I'm going to go through and retrofit all this, and then we'll check it and see how it goes. If this works, I think technically the glass is now connected to this, maybe? Actually, hold on. Hold on. Way to jump the gun. Again, I can't ever get the collision to connect to this. Alright. My theory here is, what if this part is the part that's not sealed, and the wall is actually sealing, but it was the glass that was the problem, that wasn't connecting to the slope, then the slope connecting here should seal everything. In theory. And that's all we're working with at the moment, is theory. So if that's true, let's find out what happens if we did another... Can we do this? this is going to cover enough. I need... No, I don't think... Oh, wait a minute. What if we did... this way? No, it's still gonna leave a hole there. I need almost like the, one of these. But in glass. Is there an inverted corner in glass? Ooh. There's a flat round... I don't think these will work. But they're worth a shot. This is side inverted. Oh, this is like a flat edge. Oh, that's not what I needed at all. Alright, so I'm gonna pause it, derp around with this a minute, see what I come up with. What? What? Hold on. What is happening? What is... Okay. So... What? How is this possible? How is half of the room... It is the glass. It's the slopes. It's the slopes. That was something that was brought up. And I forgot all about it. Alright, hold on. So if I get rid of this, theoretically, the rest of it should work. Yep. Okay. Okay. No sense. Alright. So we have found the problem. You can't seem... I guess you can't put, like, blocks in the same... or next to the same space, maybe? Just for kicks and giggles. Let's find out if that screws it up. It probably will. If this logic makes... Nope! No semblance of sense whatsoever. Alright. This is just like a debugging episode. Now, wait just a minute. Huh? Now you're fine. You're fine with that. You're perfectly fine with that. Okay. Oh, pfft. Okay. Well, maybe we don't need to do anything. Alright, put one there. Okay, that's... Okay. Let's close all the doors. Just because we want to make sure. This is literally making zero sense to me. Oops. Got a little carried away there. Nope. Ah! Really wish it would make up its mind as to which way it's facing. And yes, I know there's a way to tell, it's just hard. Okay then. This is very strange. Oh, do I need the other one? Nope, that's the right one. I can never figure out which way this thing is supposed to be. Alright. So with any luck, it must have been something. If this is still fine. Yep, they're still fine. Okay. No need to rebuild things. Yay! Wait a minute, why do you two look weird? What is that about? This one looks weird. They're both... Weird. Alright. So, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to check and make sure that when I close the game and bring it back up, that still happens and it's not something that's like gonna change every time. I still don't know why this door is not causing a vacuum at all. This makes no sense. None. You should not be able to do that. But you can, and it's weird. Okay, now, there's a couple other things I wanted to go over before we try and wrap anything up here. I don't really know what I want to do with the INTML, with the piping system. No. Did you not get the first things I typed? Oh, apparently you can't cap lock. Okay. Oh my gosh! I did not know there was a full cube to this. That just makes my life so much easier. Okay. Wow, I did not know this had full cubes. That is amazing. Okay, what is it? It's the black strip goes on the bottom. There we go. That is so cool. Did not know that. Did not know that. So we can totally replace all of this. Let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so finish that up, wrap that up. You might notice that we use full blocks instead of walls here. There's a reason for that. In switching back and forth, I noticed that nothing was changing. And what I mean by that is I was going to place walls here, and it's 10 components and 25 interior plates. And then when I'd switch, I went 10 components and 25 interior plates. Oh. Well. So, just for building purposes and ease of design and figuring out where I can put blocks and what's not a collision block and all that kind of stuff, I opted just to go with full blocks, and I accidentally deleted a couple of the grav walks. So, unfortunately, they were back there again, or some of them were back on and screwing up the gravity. So... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was like, where's the vent? Oh, except I got these backwards. Dang it. I always screw that kind of stuff up. Oi. Did I do it all the way around? I did. I did it all the way around on this top row. Was not paying attention. The vents are still fine. I like this look, though. This is going to look cool. This makes me feel very Death Star-y, so I'm thinking this is going to turn into a Star Destroyer kind of build. Still don't know why this isn't depressurizing a room. And I like how... Actually, that kind of blends pretty well. I'm not a huge fan of the yellow caution stuff, but that kind of blends pretty well, actually. We need a new door, though. That door's gotta go. Now that we've changed everything, it's like, yeah, that's just not gonna work either. I don't know that I want to do a glass door. We saw this in one of the inspiration episodes, that the doors on these that are denoted with a C, I believe mean they're colorable. So like this versus this one, I think that means it's a colorable door. So that could be kind of interesting. Let's see what it looks like with just a default. That's not bad. It actually kind of matches this, but I'm wondering if we should try and go more towards the darker gray, perhaps. Why is everything having such a hard time getting a collision box to click in lately? How's that look? Better. How does that look? Better. I'm thinking if it matched this, it might work. Better. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, maybe it's more of a saturation issue. I kind of like that. Again, the yellow caution tape is what I'm not sure about, like that kind of... Yeah, I'm debating on whether it should be a light or a dark gray. I kind of like the dark, but I'm not really sure, so feel free to leave feedback on that, but that looks a lot better at least than the other stuff. Oh, I have a hole right there in the... Oh, that was the other thing I was going to do. I'm glad that hole's there, actually. Really? Sometimes this new ragdoll model is having a bit of a issue with doors, or at least for me. So one thing I want to do, while this is attached to other things, is get rid of that. The reason being, I found under the interior... I'm surprised that this tab doesn't actually show all of the interior stuff. Like, this is all of the blocks, but this doesn't actually show everything. It's really weird. But there's a glass version of this. And I'm thinking that would be kind of cool because it would allow us to still see... Oh, crap. There we go. It would allow us to still see the batteries, which was the overall idea originally. There we go. And we can always go through and color this something else. I'm staying with the default gray, mostly because it's already kind of a dark block. And without some semblance of color, it would just make it look really dark. So, let me know what you guys think about all that. I'm open to suggestions on some of this stuff as far as color design and things like that. I'm not terrible when it comes to like designing this kind of stuff, like making a floor plan or making it look interesting. I'm very bad at color and art like a graphic design kind of thing where it's like, ooh, I like this color, and then this would be a good accent color, and, you know, all that kind of stuff to make it actually look really cool. That's not where I end up with everything being, like, gray or black, because it's just, like, you know, just seems like the color to use. Like I said, though, the design of this block, oops! The design of this block makes me think kind of a Death Star kind of block. I don't know if that's the original intent of the mod maker or not, but it definitely makes me think that. So it's not a stretch to kind of see the ship transition into more of a come on, really? I've got to delete all this to get to that one block because of collisions. I hate that. I'm looking right at it. Oi. Really? Go already. There, finally. Alright, now one of these doors is open. Unless I closed it. I must have closed it. Go me. Come on. Alright, so. How does this look when we go up through here? Okay, so theoretically we would have flipped over like this. I like it. We can see the batteries, which is really cool, but then you've got the visible... Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm feeling this. This is gonna work for me. Though, is anyone else seeing that glass is like a weird dimension by comparison? What happened there? These are the things that baffle me. So it's like this one. It's almost like it's facing the right direction so that it's... Seriously, get through the door. Oy. Doors in me, man. They're like my nemesis. So it almost is like it's the right setup, but it's flipped wrong or something. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Great, now I gotta go along and make sure all these are aligned correctly so they don't look weird. Nope. There. So that's what it is. It's like they're flipped the wrong way or something. I wonder if that's what was causing the problem with the air vent, is that the slopes were flipped incorrectly or something. How did that happen? I turned off the block for 1 second. Okay, so all of these look like they're properly aligned. I'm leery of changing any of these just because at the moment it seems to be working with the air vent correctly. So like the air vent one is actually wrong. You can see it right on the edge. Not that it's a big deal, but you can tell. So let's check the vent and see if everything is... if I can get through this stupid door. Okay, all the vents are still green. Now, for curiosity's sake, let's find out what happens if we do this. Oh, no, I don't want to do it. Never mind. I'm going to have to break that and stuff. Okay. Door. Close. Thank you. Alright. I'm definitely liking the look of this design here. This is getting to be a bit cooler. Especially when we get the gravity walk stuff fixed. Oh. Hi, you. Random block. And this turned out really good. I'm really liking this. The only thing I would like to see... I have not seen any mods for the programming block. Like to make them look different or anything like that. But I need to find a spot to place a programmable block because I want to do the code for the reactor. And it's actually going to be really simple. I might even do it right now. So I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, so I worked on the script a bit. I threw in one of these. These are kind of new. Oh, I don't have it listed here. I had a game crash, so that's why the inventory is back to sluggish. I like leaving it on that one. So I used one of these. It's a slope tip LCD L, so that it's not exactly in the way. This is a temporary solution. I'm not sure that I'm going to keep it that way. So, since it's not actually spinning yet, it must not have updated or run my code yet, or it doesn't work right, one of the two. So I used one of these new little micro timers, which are very tiny. They're so tiny. Look at them. Timer. To keep the code running. So basically, just a quick overview because we're really low on time. I declare all my variables. I set the max for both the reactor's power and the rotor RPMs. Let's see. This is plugging all the variables in so that it has the data. Set rotation is a function. Write to the screen calls details. So details is pretty simple. It returns a string. I split the reactor detailed info, and through trial and error, I figured out that if you split a reactor's details, then the one at the 8 index is the current power, and 9 is its suffix, like kilowatt, gigawatt, whatever. So I basically just put in arc reactor current power, the power, and its suffix. You can't see it very well, but this is basically just a couple new lines, rotor current RPMs, and then rotor dot velocity. And then it closes it off and all that kind of stuff. So details is simple. Set rotation actually isn't that hard either. It was, I declared a current value just for ease of use. Split the details again. And again, I pulled 9 for the prefix. If it's gigawatt, we parse it into a string, or I mean, a float, which is this part. So it turns into a float value, multiplies it by 1,000,000 because that is gigawatts to watts. If it's kilowatts, multiplies it by 1,000. If it's watt, it doesn't do anything to it. Then percentage of current use would be of maximum would be current use divided by the reactor max, which again is 2 gigawatts in watts is 2 million. So that will give you the percentage of what your total reactor is using. RPMs I made equal to percentage multiplied by rotor max. So basically the rotor max is 30 RPMs, which is the max that a rotor can spin, and then this basically tells it to multiply that by the percentage. So if it's only using 25% of the reactor, only spin at 25% of the max. Then rotor set value velocity. This part I'm not sure about. In all of our other code we use singles, but I noticed in Visual Studios it had it as a template, so we're going to try this, and I think it compiled and everything. So basically it's going to set that and then declare what's going on the screen. It compiles, so I guess this float value is okay. So what we're going to do, if I can ever highlight this, I wanted to be a little closer, is the micro timer. I want to go ahead and trigger that. Reactor rotation micro timer. Okay, trigger. Alright. So it's using 593 kilowatts. Rotor current RPMs is 8.9. Is the rotor off? Ah, rotor's off. Alright, so just to test this out, because we don't have much time left, let's take something that has a real heavy power draw. Let's try gravity walks. Those tend to pull a good amount of power. Where do they go? There they are. Alright, so you can see kind of how it's spinning right now. It's currently spinning at around 9 RPMs, give or take, depending on the power. Right. Now, if we go up here, and I don't want to go overboard with it, but let's just, like, go overboard with it. Like, alright, so that's taking a lot of power, probably. What's happening here? Oh, interesting. Why is it continuing to count down? It's possible that this needs to run again. It's updating the code. Alright, so I broke something. Not sure what I broke, though. Because in theory it should make sense for it to do it that way. But I don't know. It did not like converting to megawatts for some reason. Oh, here's something I didn't check, is how many megawatts. It might be... It might not be calculating correctly. 7.4? Let's check our reactor. That's the angle. It's all the way at the bottom. 7.4 megawatts. Okay. And the rotor is set to 0. Alright, well, I'll have to tweak with it a little bit. I'm sure there's some kind of update command I need to fix. But anyways, I think we're going to end things here on that note. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. Peace!